What is pussy popping, you beautiful humans? My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another piping hot episode of Sippin' the Tea Special Edition Quarantine, where we're stuck inside.
Where we sip the tea and our guests
spill that tea. Wow, what's up? We got Miss Mama in the house. Literally.
We have little Glitty Glit over here.
And zooming in all the way from the Gold Coast down under Australia, Rob Deutsch. He is the founder of F45, which was the fastest growing fitness franchise in the world, not just Australia, the world. Grapple that around your heads. Rob, my man, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All the way from Australia. It's what time? It's 9 o'clock.
How are you guys?
Doing good.
Yeah, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Fresh, just trained, had a little bit of breakfast, and then here I am.
Nice.
There you go. All right,
So,
kick it away, Ari.
Well, the first question we have to ask is, how are you doing with quarantine? How are you surviving? What are you doing to keep busy? Let's start.
Is there a difference in Australian quarantine? Because there might be a little different.
There may be. I mean, I think it's, some days it feels like Groundhog Day, which I believe is the same for everyone. But I think the key is just finding good habits, sticking to them. I try and get up. I try and get my coffee. I try and smash out a workout. Then I'll jump on the laptop. Then I'll probably go for a bike ride or I'll go for a run. But I think staying active, keeping the mind kind of moving, get out of the house as much as you can. But I think the most important thing is to be very mindful. We've got very strict social distancing rules here, which you probably have as well. But be mindful of those around you. Don't do anything silly in these times. But yeah, keep active, keep the mind active, and we'll all get through this together for sure.
Strong advice.
That is strong advice. But so I just want to know, because here, like, we're not allowed to go out at all. Like, if you do go out, it's for like groceries, and you're like, you have to wear a mask. If you get like caught, they're going to fine $1,000. So how strict is you guys' rules out there?
It's relatively similar. I believe they classified as anything non-essential cannot be done.
Okay.
So I think exercise is kind of deemed loosely to be essential. So you can go for a walk, you can go for a run, you got to stay 1.5 meters away from everyone around you, which has been pretty interesting watching. I saw a lady yesterday, she was walking and she was like sticking her arm out just so no one came near her. But it's all kind of non-essential items are gone. So that includes nightclubs, bars, clubs, gyms. They're all shut down. And I have to say, Australia so far has done a magnificent job in limiting the deaths. And we're quite proud of what, our governments have done. And let's hope it can continue.
I have to agree on that. I wish there was, better progress over here. But let's digress into a different subject matter, because that's going to go down the whole. I want to take it back to kind of your formative years and, the mix of the fusion, I guess, of fitness, health, and wellness mixed with, that business acumen and understanding how you fuse that together to, the Genesis of F45. Can you take us through a little bit? So, the fans watching, business fans, people that want to kind of get on a path.
Yeah, sure. I mean, for me, it was pretty easy. I kind of, I grew up playing sport. I played a pretty high level cricket. I played rugby. I always loved sport. Sport was my passion. And to be honest, when I finished school, the only subjects that I was really good at were all business related or maths. So I started working in finance, which was, it wasn't what I loved. It wasn't my passion. My parents kind of, wanted me to go and get like a strong job and get a basic salary and chip away. And I gave it a crack. I did it for many years, but it then all kind of dawned on me one day that, there was such an opportunity to change people's lives and build communities, which were the little studios that we see now at F45. And I was so lucky that I got to exactly what you said. I got to fuse the business skills that I kind of had, my love of fitness, my love of sport, and that was kind of the amalgamation of F45 as it was born. And it's been unbelievable that we've been able to change so many lives around the world. And now it's happening in Canada and America on a big scale. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, right, Mr. Marky Mark. I see you, mate. You did good. You did good. You did real good.
He's great.
I mean, that's really what it's all about when you think about it is, you know, having a business, but how you like are able to change so many lives. And that's what you've been able to do. And I think that that's so dope. And kind of, you know, we're going to like switch it up a little bit. But before we do, I know you recently just stepped down from being the CEO. And, you know, we kind of wanted to have you spill a little tea and say, like, was that a hard decision? And what was your choice to decide to do that?
Yeah, I mean, the main reason I set up the company, and I think you should set up any company, is obviously to enjoy yourself and do something that you're passionate about. And I literally set up the first gym. I was the personal trainer. I set up the systems. It was in 2011. So I've had an amazing run. I've loved every second of it. And to be honest, I just felt that it was time for a new challenge. I felt it was time that there were smarter people out there to run the company. And when we started franchising, interestingly, the guy that teamed up with me, who I've built the entire business with, he's still the CEO. I felt that it was the right time for him to take over. He's super smart, super entrepreneurial. I know that he'll do a phenomenal job. So I just felt that my time was up. I also felt it could be time for another adventure. So I'm taking a little bit of time out now, and then hopefully I can start something new. You know, I like to think that I'm a little bit of an ideas man and somewhat entrepreneurial. So I just thought it was a great time to kind of move on and pass the baton on. And I think the business is amazing. I think it's going to continue to grow. But, you know, with me watching it from afar as a shareholder, but not the CEO.
If I had a hat, I'd take it off to you, brother, because I just love that perspective on, you know, when to being a shareholder, number one, you'll always be a part of it. You can't take away your legacy, but just being able to be like passing the baton to somebody else in a way that it's kind of like gives you the freedom to explore. I'm sure you got 50 other ideas in that mind of yours. So it's dope. It's really cool.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, what you're doing as a whole is amazing. Like how you started your business with helping people and just talking to you. It's always so nice when you get to actually like have a conversation with people compared to what you see on Instagram. Even though your Instagram is dope and amazing and it shows positivity, I think it's just amazing that you are like passing it down and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this person now an opportunity to go ahead and.
Yeah, totally. Look, I had such a phenomenal run. I saw it, you know, right from the start. We never had a bad month. We never had anything, you know, we had our problems to work through, but the company just grew and grew and grew. And it's been such a great ride. And I just feel like it's a really, really good time. And this has nothing to do with COVID. My decision was not based on COVID. I made this decision well before. So it's not me stepping away because I think this COVID's going to have a drastic impact on the gyms. In fact, I think it's the opposite, because when we come back online, I think everyone's going to be like running and jumping to get back into fitness and health. So it's going to be a tough 3 to 6 months, but then it's going to explode again. So yeah, I thought it was just a good time, and I'm really comfortable with the decision, and I'm super pumped for the next mission and the next journey.
Congrats. That's popping. That's popping.
Thanks, Matt.
So, you know, I do have a question because there is a lot of people, you know, at home who don't feel motivated. And you kind of touched on it a little bit before, but I want to dive a little bit deeper because they're not used to this whole being at home, or they're used to being able to go to the gym. What would be some like advice you would give people who are feeling like the motivation to even just get up and do a workout, because it's like a home is a place to relax and like, you know, your chill space. So what would you say?
That was me today. I could barely be bothered. I was like, what time am I talking to Rob? Because I can get my ass out of bed. True
exactly.
Story.
So it's like, how do you, what advice would you give to say like, you know, get up, get moving and get it done?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a hard question. Obviously it's willpower, and it's the same thing we face when we need to get to a gym and we need to go to our classes. But I think the most important thing that I believe is you need to find a pattern. And it's such a simple thing, but I think personally, you need to find a time of the day that you designate to train. And if you're mixing up times and you're waking up and 1 minute you jump on the laptop, the next day you're on your phone, the next day you go and buy groceries when you wake up, my personal view is if you don't have much willpower, I always think the best time is first thing in the morning when you wake up. There's no excuses. You shouldn't be tired. If you need to, have a double espresso and then just rip in, get the 40 minutes out of the way. And you know what? If you're super busy, get up 40 minutes earlier. Go to bed 40 minutes earlier the night before. There is no excuses. But definitely find that routine. And if it's at 3 p.m. that you've got a gap, just fine, do it at 3 p.m. The next day, do it at 3 p.m. But I think the more days in a row that you put together, the less probability that sometimes in the future after that, you stop exercising. So if you do it once, obviously 3 days later, are you going to do it? 50-50. If you do 2 days in a row, the probability increases, you're going to continue 3 days. So just be really diligent in that first week, try and do it every day, and then you'll find it gets easier and easier.
I like that a lot from the perspective of like you're laying, and particularly for people that maybe didn't have a routine and now they're forced to kind of like, otherwise you're going to just sleep the next however many weeks, months, whatever it is away. Yeah. I want to digress using that principle though, tapping into the business side of your mind. I want to kind of, if there's people at home that have always had that idea, I want to start an online business, or I want to use this time to put a business plan together or create something that's been in there sitting. What's a good way, just like the principles of health and wellness and fitness, what are some started points to get people to open those floodgates?
Yeah. Look, I think like anything, I'm sorry, this sounds really basic, but I think it is, you need to first put the action plan down on a piece of paper or, on your laptop, whatever it may be. Every day, you need to make sure you tick off between 1 to 5 little points on that action plan and always move forward. But the thing that I find is the most interesting is everyone's got great ideas, everyone for the main part, but it's the execution generally that is the difference between being successful and not. So the execution is down to you. But
take it from the guy that's like the boss mother, right here. Everybody listen up. Yes,
I don't know about that.
I was just this shit is popping.
Yeah.
No, you were giving some major advice and sharing some super knowledge bombs. So yes, thank you.
The other big one is confidence. And that's the thing that I've seen with a lot of my friends. Like, yes, they have great ideas. Yes, they could execute it, but they don't have the confidence to leave their current job and take on the opportunity that they're thinking about. So my advice would always be, have the confidence, don't be scared, and whatever you do, take a direction, run 100 miles an hour, don't stop, do it, quit your job and have a crack, because there's always going to be another job waiting there if you want something more entrepreneurial, and you won't regret it 99% of the time.
I feel like this is the perfect time, because some people are literally in a position where they don't have a job anymore. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're on the ledge being like, just jump. I'm a jumper. I love to just jump and try something. If it works, it works.
Yep.
If it doesn't, we try it again. We try it different.
That is so true. I mean, it's really it's the new, everything right now is like the new normal. Like, how do you adapt? And I think a lot of with anything in life, no matter what you do, it's about becoming adaptable into an environment of like, hey, this is not what I asked for, but how do I adapt? Perfect example, having you on Sippin. I mean, we wanted to have you on last year, but you were in Australia. So it's like, look, we were able to adapt and make it happen.
Namaste. Namaste, Ari.
You know how I am about my namaste and my fitness, because I'm a
Get your life, girl. Get your life.
Yeah, what's your advice? What's your advice for all the listeners out there? You're fitter than me.
Right now Rob has become the host and asking me a question.
Right.
My advice with this is I'm not as I don't really like routine, but I'm gonna get it done. So for me, even with fitness, like I got my workout in before I like showered and got ready to have this. It's just, as long as I get it done. Like there's been times it's been midnight, but if I said I've committed to it, it gets done. So for me, a routine doesn't really work doing a set time because life happens, especially with a million things I have going on. But I agree, like I have my book here, exactly what you said, writing down my list of stuff of what I have to do, crossing it off.
And I have my book too, GQ.
But it's not about me. It's about you. But I would, since we're this is a different quarantine, we're gonna pass it off to Matt. What advice do you give?
You know what? Honestly, and I'm not saying this, it's really interesting to be talking to Rob from a business perspective. I'm not really, into the fitness kick of the thing. I walk the dog, I'm good to go. Thanks for coming. But I will say this time, when I have friends that can't pay their rent, that can't do this, that can't do that, that can't do this, they're out of jobs, I literally have signed 3 new, I run a PR company. My day-to-day is a PR company. I just signed 3 new clients this week in this bullshit evil world falling down. I was like, if it's there to be had. And I actually think this time is the best time to be like repositioning, recreate. I don't know. I just think.
Couldn't agree more.
Every day I wake up, I'm like, today was a little rougher. Yesterday was great. You know, it fluctuates. But as far as business, I was like, holy moly, this is like, I feel like this is the time. Everybody's in the same boat. So you can reach people that sometimes are unreachable.
Agree. No, I totally agree with that. I think, you know, especially around planning, especially around documenting things, creating ideas, it's given everyone a chance to have a breather, be with their families, consolidate. And the other thing is, like, speaking to so many of my friends that own different businesses, it's actually given them a chance to work smarter. I think business models are going to change. You know, even from a friend of mine that owns a pizza shop, he's doing so many deliveries now. He's realized he doesn't need all the staff. He doesn't need all the retail space. He'll take smaller shops. So there's so many examples of, I think this will make us a lot more efficient and a lot more smarter at the back end.
Yeah.
Because I feel evolution, whenever the deadline of this ends, the world will be changed forever. I believe in business, health, wealth, mental health. I honestly believe it's going to set up a brand new refresh. You know, it's like, if you're smart, now's the time to like get in the game for real.
Yeah, definitely. And lots of opportunity as well.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree.
It's the new normal of creating opportunities. And I feel like at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, if you didn't pick up a new craft, if you didn't start that business plan, it's not that you didn't have the time, it's you just didn't have the dedication to execute, like you said, and make it happen. Because excuses don't burn calories and excuses don't get her done.
Oh, damn. Watch out.
Damn.
So
I want to just ask one thing. You don't seem like the guy that has regrets, but if you could jump back at any point, the last 10, 15, 20 years, is there anything that you would redo, wish you had come at it from a different perspective, or are you just like every roadblock is a, you know?
Honestly, nothing really, to be completely honest.
I figured that,
The only things that I really wish I had have done when I was maybe younger, I wish I had gone to America to do college. That would have been unbelievable. So that's a regret in my life. And I'd definitely tell my kids to do something like that, or even to Europe. And the only other thing that I really need to do is get to South America ASAP, which I've been dying to do for a long time, and I need to get that done in the next couple of years.
Book the ticket. We're ready to go.
I can't change the first one, but I can change the second one. So yeah, no other regrets for me, to be honest.
I love that. That's a life motto. I never have regrets. Just a chance to redo something, I believe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So should we do some quick rapid fires?
Let's do some rapid fire, and let's see if we can do them rapid fire, because sometimes we get real deep. Rapid fire, all right. So, what's your favorite beverage?
Probably beer, cold beer.
Nice.
Okay. Mornings or late nights?
Mornings.
Okay.
I love it. Get up, go for it.
Definitely mornings.
And to wrap it up, what's the best compliment that you've ever received?
Actually, that's interesting. I got a compliment recently when I put up, obviously, that I was leaving F45 from a ex-detective. And he basically said, I've been a detective for 25 years and I've seen some great men, I think he used, in my life. So I don't use the term lightly. And he said, you're probably the greatest man that I've met in those 25 years. And I was like, wow, that's I took that.
That's pretty damn high. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I liked it. Coming from a detective, I think their morals are relatively high. So
yeah, I would hope so.
I liked it.
Okay, so for people who are living under a rock and for people to be able to follow your new endeavors that you will have in business, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and where they can find you.
Sure. I mean, I'm not a massive social media guy. As you can probably see, I'm not a huge poster, but the journey will be there. I'll set up all the new handles when it's ready to rumble. And you know what? Maybe you'll be nice enough to get me back on the show so I can I can.
You're
spread
welcome
the word.
anytime.
You're welcome. Yes.
Anytime.
Tell us, if you're back in LA, once all this is said and done, you can come in studio, in person. We can all meet face to face. And then, but if not, hey, the new normal of coming on Zoom and doing these interviews.
I would absolutely love that. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
For real. Where can we find you, Ari?
You guys can follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew, and this little nugget at Glitty Glit.
She is there. You can follow me at Matt Dillon 1983. And until next time, Rob, cheers. Thank you so much, brother. Bye, guys.